episode 9 of the JurassicWorld.org podcast. We are progressing fast with these podcasts. Very exciting time. I'm joined with Chris and Asees. Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Good. Also like to mention that we are now sponsored by JurassicFangear.com. Check that website out, because the guy there is awesome. He sent us a load of free stuff.
But on top of that, the gear really is really cool stuff. I couldn't believe it when I popped it open and I was like, "Oh my god, this pen is the East Dock sign."
Yeah, even the box had a Jurassic Park sticker.
Yeah, what? Like
it's
when
pretty top notch.
the box that it's shipped in looks so official and awesome. No, it's really awesome. I guarantee you that my mailman wanted to know what was inside the box, because there is not a single person on this world that does not like the first Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, who doesn't see the logo and think, that's cool.
Like, oh man, cool stuff. Wonder what's inside there. And I immediately went camping and I brought my Jurassic World Barbasol and DNA tumbler out, my thermos drink.
Yeah, that thing's pretty top notch. Good quality.
Looks
fucking fantastic too.
I
Yeah,
mean, we'll all be drinking out of them for the Jurassic Park 3 drink-a-thon.
I had a friend come over and ask me where to buy it, immediately. He's like, "Where can I buy this?" I point him in the right direction.
Great, man. It's just fantastic stuff. And the East Dock, basically, if you haven't seen it, he does a pen, which is the East Dock sign. It's like the kind of pen you'd get in a bank, that's already, it's kind of fixed in place. But it's so freaking cool. I've got this thing on my desk at the moment. It's the East Dock sign.
We'll post pictures on our individual Twitter of some of the gear.
Yeah.
And then there's things like name tags, a Jurassic Park name tag, a Jurassic World name tag. It was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, like the things for the things you can put in your car kind of thing. And he does those flags, Jurassic Park flags, you can stick on your car.
Yeah.
And he also its stickers came with it as well. I got a Jurassic Fangear sticker, which it's just cool, man. I like this guy. He's a real fan.
Yeah. Cool
his
stuff.
name is it George? Oh, now I've forgotten his name. Hang on.
Shit.
I've got him on Facebook as well. Oh, for God's sake. Okay.
It happens, man. It happens.
Well, I've forgotten his name. So there we are with that. But
We'll cut that.
We'll come.
We'll cut that.
Okay, so pretty exciting times. Let's talk about the East Dock sign.
Yes.
So when was this? Monday, 22nd of September, which was the official first day of autumn, if I'm right in saying that. Colin Trevorrow posted a picture of the East Dock sign, the famous East Dock sign from Jurassic Park, the one that Nedry runs over in his Jeep, and it's covered in leaves, it's on the floor. So we automatically assume that is the one Nedry smacked over.
Yeah, it's definitely the
so.
one that Nedry smacked over. I mean, the arrows point in the same direction. At first, I won't lie, since he tagged the picture Autumn, I wasn't entirely convinced it was from the set of Jurassic World, although it really wouldn't make any sense since everyone would assume that was from Jurassic World. I wasn't entirely convinced it wasn't, a really awesome prop that he had, I don't know, fixed up or something for, Halloween or anything along those lines. But obviously it is for Jurassic World. He would have, reiterated if it weren't. Plus the official Jurassic Park Twitter and Facebook and everything has been tweeting it as well.
Yeah,
as well
good
as
time for repairs.
legendary picture. Yeah, they changed the tag. They said fall's a good time for repairs.
Yeah, I saw that. I was about to say, does that mean something?
I think it does mean something. I think it's not going to be Nick and Nick and Ty. I don't think they find it when they get lost out in the park, in the old park. I think it's a few years after the fall of Jurassic Park, right?
Did you see my theory on Twitter?
Yeah.
Did you see my random string of ideas on Twitter yesterday?
Chris, I don't follow you, so...
Yeah. Okay. Oh, come on!
No one follows you.
No, of course I follow you. No, I didn't know.
I think you're onto something, though, Chris.
By the way, we're getting tweets to our Twitter.
I said podcast time, send in your questions, so we'll...
our leaker is sending us pictures.
Yes, I just saw that. Chris, I just read your
I'm not
thing.
sure, though, because we'll get into that in a second. So let me just say, that whole East Dock sign, and by the way, when I say our leaker, I don't mean our own personal leaker. I just mean someone leaked a picture yesterday, and they're sending us some pictures of theories or something along those lines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not a personal leaker. Not someone that we asked, etc. But they're the ones that leaked that really cool inside picture of the visitor center. But anyways, the East Dock sign. So what I was thinking is every Jurassic Park film opens up with an inciting incident that happens sometime before the main plot line. You know, the first film opened up with the whole raptor loading dock scene that goes pretty bad, and we see the guy get pulled in by the raptor and everything along those lines. Second film opens up with the girl getting attacked by the compies. Third film has a little bit more to do with the movie, where you see Eric and Ben crash onto the island. However, it's always started out with an inciting incident that is sometime before the main plot line.
Yeah, definitely.
So imagine a Jurassic World started out with an insight. It's like big, it's big thing, kind of the way it opens up, actually is like 10, 20 years before the main movie plot line. And you see maybe that that East Dock sign on the ground as the camera pans up, and you see a Velociraptor or a Dilophosaurus scamper away, and then you hear the sound of helicopters, and the camera pans up, and you see helicopters flying in, and in the distance you see construction gear building up, basically like the Mark Englert Jurassic World poster.
Yeah,
and
maybe
like
that has
presented with that visual.
Well, this is the thing, right? The East Dock sign's awesome, but after 20 years, it would be rotted beyond.
Yeah,
you wouldn't really be able to identify, like, to an extent.
That's, in the jungle, I definitely agree. It just depends on what they treated it with, though, because, I mean, to be fair, there are some props that I would have assumed would have decayed that are still standing pretty well in Hawaii. And, I mean, I've stumbled...
Like what?
I don't remember. I don't think I made that up. I don't think I made that up.
The log.
The log, yeah!
No, but that's gone. That's a different log.
Yeah,
that's not real.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, I've walked on hiking. I've walked into signs that were wood that had to have been there for a long time. I've found old remains of buildings that were very old. And some random parts of it were the parts that like didn't need to support itself actually stayed preserved fairly well. It's hard to say. I would still say it would have looked worse than that. I do agree.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. After 20 years, that I think that from like wood in a wet kind of on a wet ground in a forest like that with it, I mean, they're basing it off Hawaii, and Hawaii's obviously full of insects and just it would be gone. So that's the thing. I'm thinking this is probably part of a flashback, which we didn't think we would get.
Well, I don't think to say a flashback, I think it's unfair because Jurassic Park's never used flashbacks as a storytelling mechanic, which is why I'd say the movie would open up with the time difference. Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay. We're not heading back in time like halfway through the movie.
Okay,
kind of thing. But yeah, like you said, I think an intro is right, and this is the
I
thing.
think it's
as
important
well.
as a storytelling mechanic. For the general audience to understand, like, oh, hey, the old park existed, it failed, and then they came in and tried again.
It's important, like you say, and I think the thing is as well with Colin, he's lucky while developing this film. The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 didn't even mention Nublar, so anything could have been happening on that island, but we never saw it because we were always on Sorna for the two sequels. So yeah, it could be a few years after Jurassic Park, even before when the Lost World was set, and somebody was moving. InGen was trying to rebuild or trying to do something, establish themselves again on the island.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
You never know.
It's hard to say. Like, InGen itself might have been bought out by Masrani Corporation during the Lost World. Now, do we have suspected timelines for Jurassic Park and the Lost World? Do we know the exact dates that those movies happened?
I don't. I was just set in present time.
It's set when it was made, as far as I know.
Now I wouldn't be now, but in theory, Lost World could have happened before 1997.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. They would. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
but then that would also be weird.
It would be weird, but for whatever reason, if they needed a storytelling mechanic to say this is all happening in 97, that way the building period lasted. I mean, like what? They said the park's been open 5 years. So that means the park... That? Yeah, I think, right?
It's been open for a few years. I don't know if they gave a number.
I think they said 5 years or something along those lines. So maybe maybe longer. I mean, it's got to be long enough for them to see a decline, although I think they said it was a small decline. But when you look at a small decline, businesses freak out because they, start doing future projections. So they're not freaking out about that decline right then. They're thinking about the future. So that's why they would start to try to find new ways to pull people in. So, I mean, long enough for a small decline. I would imagine if a dinosaur park opened up in, like, 2000 and 2010. Yeah, 2015 seems like an early time for a decline to even start happening, but maybe.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, and obviously the gap between JP3, like, because after JP3, you have to imagine InGen or whoever has lease on those islands would need to do some clearing up, because obviously pteranodons were flying to the mainland, so there's that big gap that's obviously going to be mentioned in Jurassic World.
I still
hope know what happened.
I hope that they never touch on those pteranodons for Jurassic Park 3.
Why?
Because they wouldn't be able to clear.
It's important.
They wouldn't be able to clear the ocean. To be honest with you, they would. Well, maybe, you know what? Okay,
we don't know that.
People always talk about them hitting mainland U.S. That would really never happen, but it could hit other areas. Okay,
like South America and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit more believable. But honestly, I don't think the movie needs to get hung up on Jurassic Park 3, because that movie really didn't think things through too much. If there's a really good reason, like a really fun reason to touch on it, then go ahead. But otherwise, don't get caught up on it, because it's a dead plot line. We can just assume that they killed the pteranodons, or the pteranodons starved to death, or I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of important, because Jurassic Park 3, even though it's the last movie that everyone saw, and if they don't touch on it, while I won't be too bothered myself, the general audience might be like, but what happened to those dinosaurs that were flying off the island?
I don't think they'll remember it, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if people will remember enough. I don't think they cared enough about that movie.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if it happened in the first movie and this was like the first sequel since then, they would be like, what the hell happened to those goddamn pteranodons? I've been waiting 22 years to find out. But, I mean, Jurassic Park 3, I don't think anyone really cared. I think enough time... shortly after the film, I was like, man, what happened to those pteranodons? I mean, I was younger. I didn't like the movie. Even then, I wasn't thrilled with it. But I wanted to know, and I kind of had that weird obsession with the idea of a mainland plot for a bit. But as time went on, I kind of realized I didn't want that so much. Not at least a U.S. mainland plot. I don't want.
I never wanted a mainland. It sounds incredibly boring.
Yeah, I don't want Jurassic Park and being Rise of the Planet of the Dinosaurs in terms of the dinosaurs have taken over the United States. At the very least, don't go to the United States. It's so boring.
But that's I see what you mean, because that just seems weird. I mean, obviously dinosaurs did rule the Earth at one point in time.
Yeah,
but they're not apes, and the fact with Planet of the Apes is fantastic. But apes, they're even more like humans in those films because of the drug.
No,
so
dinosaurs
you can have
would be
these dinosaurs.
a hugely invasive species, which would be a really interesting way to touch on it.
But there's not enough dinosaurs to have any threat at all, though.
They'd be able to.
It's like 20 dinosaurs tops.
Yeah,
right?
they would be able to get on top of that.
Easily, no problem.
If you had I'd say one dinosaur species that'd be really hard to contain if they hit mainland Costa Rica or something like that would be Velociraptor.
Yeah, definitely.
No way.
I think so. I think
they're smart, fast, evasive, small dinosaurs that have a family pack ecosystem, which would quickly be able to establish probably nest breeding patterns and expand outward.
I don't think so.
I think Velociraptor, if there's any, you would never have to worry about Tyrannosaurs taking it. You'd be able to find T-Rex.
The compies, right?
Oh, compies would be a nightmare. They would be everywhere.
Yeah.
They'd be like rabbits.
They'd be eating your crops and stuff.
Yeah.
Terrifying rabbit. Yeah.
But I don't know. But the Eastock sign's awesome. Yeah, that's cool to see.
Yeah, how did we get to this from the Eastock? Oh yeah,
I have absolutely no idea.
What the hell? Yeah. So, anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if the movie opens up with some sort of construction and exterminate, some sort of clearing, basically, of the Nublar dinosaurs, and we kind of see it at least as some sort of. We see it happening. That way, the camera pans up, you see the helicopters coming in, you see the construction happening, and you see the Jurassic World logo fade in, and then it's 22 years later, or something along those lines.
I think also it's worth noting, that obviously the leaves and the decay that you do see is also in the picture of the final slate picture, which is in the T-Rex jaws. Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of decay and leaves on the ground, and also in the picture of Ty and Nick.
Well, the one with Ty and Nick, it looks a lot more wet and fresh, which is why it never struck me as weird. But the fact that the reason why it threw me off at first is that he labeled the picture autumn, and it really had those fall hues to it. And I was like, I'm confused.
Yeah,
Like,
if I walk outside my house, I'll see those leaves on the ground right now. It's like, is this Hawaii or?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the color palette looked a little bit like leaves that turn color, not just dead leaves. But looking at it now, I think that it's just the color filter on the image. To be honest with you, and the fact that it's
Could
drier.
be. I mean, that's what we've got to assume is that those islands are based on Hawaii, so they wouldn't have the kind of fall that we see.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd have the pigmentation change of it. It would turn brown when they died, but beyond that, you wouldn't have the orange and the yellows and the reds for most of those leaves, But that wouldn't happen when they died. Some leaves change color in different seasons, but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah. But either way, it's a cool image, and it's great that Colin tweeted that. But I think now really is the time for footage.
Yeah, well, before we jump into the footage talk, I think there's something that people want us to talk about. One thing I noticed for a lot of websites that covered that the East Dock sign is they're wondering if it's the return of the Barbasol can, if they're finally going to touch on the Barbasol can plotline.
No.
Now, I have my own thoughts about this. The only goddamn people that know about that Barbasol can would be Nedry. He's dead. He's very dead. Yeah. He's very, very dead. Dodson,
he is not coming back.
He's not coming back. Probably a few of Dodson's people. Not too many people, but I would imagine it was more than those two that knew, but it would just been a handful of people. But how?
And even then, they wouldn't know where.
God's name would they find the Barbasol can? Why would they know where to look? Now,
No. I have wait. Before we continue with this, you know where that East Dock sign, right? Isn't that a pretty good distance away from where Nedry died?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why are people assuming we're going to see Nedry's car, the Dilophosaurus, and
I think
the can?
Maybe
it's
they're
pretty far away.
Maybe they're linking that to the car. Wait, one of the first filming pictures we got was the original Jurassic Park Jeep. The Jeep.
Yeah, that was a different Jeep that they
that wasn't
brought in.
Nedry's Jeep.
That was not.
No.
It was Hammond's, and it was in better shape. Yeah. It was in really good shape. I would assume it was like parked in a like literally. If we're going to assume it's in that grid of shape, it's been parked inside of some sort of bunker or garage since the fall of Jurassic Park.
I mean, it was still rusty, but it was
but it looked decent.
But, okay, so
it looked drivable.
I don't think we're going to see Nedry's Jeep.
But
if we do, it's pretty cool.
Nedry's
I'd
Jeep,
be up for that.
I don't think we'll see the Barbasol can. I don't think there's really any point in touching the Barbasol can for the sheer fact of, obviously, Masrani Corp bought InGen, and
they have all the science.
They have Henry Wu. They have all the proprietary science. They own everything that InGen did. They don't need to hijack it because they literally own everything. I mean, we know InGen's still in the movie as like a park runner. I mean, Hammond's honored in the movie, everything along those lines. There's no need for the Barbasol can. The only reason that I could see the Barbasol can ever even coming into play is if for some reason Biosyn is still a player and they wanted to cover their tracks. They wanted to.
Should we talk about this real quick?
I don't think. Okay. I don't think it's a thing, and if it's a thing, it's only for the toys.
Bison aren't in the movie. I think it's been I don't even think the word bison was in the first Jurassic Park.
It wasn't.
Never.
Now,
so
we could always
no general audience member has any clue who Bison is. So if they're bringing Bison back as like it's Bison, and no audience is going to act
unless
like
they
fans
unless they name drop Dodson, even without having him in there. Everyone knows Dodson because of Nedry's Dodson. We got Dodson here.
Yeah,
definitely.
But
Bison itself is a company that nobody other than major fans like us really have any idea what.
Now, it's something the expanded fiction might touch on. Like, if we get comics and everything like that, they might say, oh yeah, Biosyn's alive, and yeah, Biosyn's been trying to screw over InGen and steal the stuff all this time. It could be something we could get comic plot lines out of, or the toys might borrow from it for, the toys always have an expanded fiction to them.
Definitely.
That way there can be human struggle in the toys as well. You can have the good guys and the bad guys. I mean, you had that with the Jurassic Park 1 toys. You had the Dino Trackers and the Evil Raiders. I mean, I could very much see, the toys creating a quote-unquote bad faction.
Although the movie itself has got, Splinter Soldiers and things like that. So maybe it's already in the movie. Maybe the toys don't even need to create their own.
You know what? I think it was a Splinter unit. Like a...
what is a Splinter unit?
I'm pretty sure that's like a second what the hell? What's the term we're looking for? Like a second unit.
Like a better, more...
I thought splinter... Well, we're obviously... None of us have any idea what it means, but...
Nope.
I thought it meant, like...
I saw someone call the Jurassic World second unit a splinter unit. I can't remember where.
Oh, this on IMDb as well. There's tons of people listed as Splinter Soldiers.
What I think it was is people thought that was their name, a Splinter Soldier. I think what it was is it was a second unit filming soldier scenes, and they thought the name was InGen Splinter Soldier. They got confused about their role. I think it was the second unit. I think they called the second unit the Splinter Unit, and I think they filmed soldier scenes.
No, I thought a Splinter Unit was... Okay, it says here, Splinter of a group or organization separate into smaller units, typically as a result of disagreement.
Yeah,
so
Biosyn.
It's like it would if it's an InGen Splinter Soldier, then it's a group of InGen that don't agree with something.
Yeah,
or
but like I said,
or...
I think it's that one thing. I think we also saw that they called the second unit a Splinter Unit. So there's also that chance some people just got confused because Splinter Soldier is a thing. But it also could be general confusion of they were the Splinter Unit and they were playing soldiers, so they somehow thought they were Splinter Soldiers.
Wait, but does Splinter? I've never heard use Splinter. Like,
neither have I.
Cool,
neither have I.
It's always called second unit.
Yeah, it's always called second unit. That's why I was a little confused when we read that, but I'm pretty sure we read that.
Okay. Well, that's, that is
or maybe I read it somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I'm making that up.
Either way, like back to the original point, it'd be cool to see Nedry's Jeep. It would also... I don't really mind if we don't. But the other thing is, like, I don't think we're going to see the Barbasol can. I don't think we should. I think it might be, like, for us, if they do walk past Nedry's Jeep, for us, it would be cool to have a tiny little subtle camera pan down to that. Just that. And then it's not like, let's dig through this mud, because there might be something...
no, exactly. You might, see, like, the acknowledgement that exists.
I want the characters to walk right by that pile of mud without acknowledging it.
That pile of mud... Just it's not important, especially with this plot line that Jurassic World went in. But I mean, out of all honesty, you've got an island full of dinosaurs. Just take some blood samples from those fuckers.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
No, I agree with you, man. And I also think, although the only thing we have to bear in mind is that we know that Spielberg, he said it in a behind the scenes that he did the shot of the Barbasol can for a potential sequel.
Yeah.
Whether or not he just left that open for himself, like in case. Maybe I'm pretty sure. Well, we know the John Sayles Jurassic Park 4 script.
That bothered me though, because how the hell would they have been able to find that?
Oh yeah, shit! I was
actually reading the script. Had it.
Yeah,
so all he's got to do is find Nedry's
big
Jeep.
Goddamn island. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no! Here, no. Check this out. I was reading the script like literally yesterday. Hammond said that they knew that Nedry took the embryos in a can, right?
Yeah, there's no way Hammond should have known that though.
Yeah, but still, he's like, we know what quadrant Nedry was in, so he descended.
But they didn't, unless Hammond did a.
No, they must have found him after the.
Wait, they knew. They would have known he was going to the East Dock at least.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. They must have found him. Sometime afterwards.
For all they knew, Nedry thought he did something and then panicked and just tried to run. I mean, did they know that Nedry was committing corporate espionage, or did they think he just was like, "Oh, what have I done? I'm out of here."
No, I think Hammond knew that Biosyn. I don't know if he did a name drop. I know. I was actually reading. You know what? I'm going to bring it up.
I mean, I won't lie. There's definitely some similarities between the John Sayles script and the Jurassic World script. That's by design.
Kind of disturbing.
It's by design.
Yeah, I'm reading the script right now. It says that Hammond found out Nedry stole it for one of his competitors. At least 40 species from the laboratory at the park.
But we know that's not true. It wasn't 40 species. It was like 16.
Yeah, John Sayles is stupid. Who knows?
It's weird. He's like a smart writer. It's just
he's great. The script is great.
He just didn't give a shit about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He
named the frickin' Dilophosaurus like some Chlamydiosaurus Rex or something stupid.
Yeah,
And somehow the Grendel International knows about the thing too.
Maybe they're pretending Dodson worked for Grendel. Oh, which I'll talk about this when he gets back. There's always a shot that Dodson worked for for Masrani.
Biosyn might not even exist in the movie universe.
I mean, it might be Masrani Corp, or maybe Masrani Corp acquired by it. I mean, there's 1,000.
Yeah, there's too many options.
I still think that that's a plot line that they could touch on again. Don't get me wrong, but you'd be hard pressed. Basically, if anybody goes looking for that Barbasol can, it should be Dodson or Dodson's people. And only Dodson or Dodson's people. And at this point, it shouldn't be to hijack the park. It should be to cover up the evidence.
I don't think they'd have to.
I mean, but that's just, like, on the stray chance that they got, they panicked. I just don't think that there'd be any. I don't think there'd be any reason they'd be like, oh, well, there's new dinosaurs this time around, so we want to steal that, not the old stuff. Only reason why I see that Barbasol can being touched on is if, like, they decide to destroy the evidence.
Oh, check this out. The main character finds the can with a metal detector.
Okay, a metal detector at least works a little bit. I still think that they'd be hard pressed to, like, find. I mean, that's like needle in a haystack. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Hello.
Hi.
Yo.
Where are we?
We're talking about something.
Hell, John Sayles' script is just fucked up, and he didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was talking about, but he
But the
definitely
script
knows
is
how
great.
to write.
We literally just said it was so funny. I'm like, John Sayles is a great writer. He just didn't give a shit about Jurassic Park.
Yeah, which is such a shame because I really liked that script, but it just, like Asees says, it's just not Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's
to be honest, it's a perfect
the first
spin-off.
Half an hour.
I think it's a perfect spin-off. I'm not going to change my word on that.
Oh, it's
perfect.
a spin-off, but it's not a sequel. It's a spin-off.
No, absolutely not. You're right.
It's like Jurassic Park. If you're done making Jurassic Park movies, but you want to make, it's the Alien Resurrection of Jurassic Park.
I want to see this movie so badly.
It's the Alien Resurrection of Jurassic Park. It's just more cleverly written. It's really Cabin in the Woods meets Jurassic Park. It's super self-aware.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but the first half an hour on Nublar is just great.
Oh, it's stupid, but it's great. I mean, you've got like Raptors or whateber.
I have to point this out. I'm just looking at the crew of Jurassic World. I've got some in a few tabs that I want to talk about, but I've just seen somebody as underwater director of photography. So there's obviously
I've been waiting for that. Now I wonder where they shot underwater scenes at.
I would imagine they did that at NASA buildings.
Did they? Because I didn't hear anything about. You know what? Though, to be fair, they would have never needed an extra for the underwater scenes.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's pretty exciting. This guy's done everything as well.
Oh yeah, I think I remember reading that NASA had a really, really big underwater section.
Yeah,
for, like different, obviously.
That's what I mean.
Space-related programs that they used to do.
Love underwater stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think that we're going to see a throwback to Jaws. I mean, you guys remember when. I think we talked about this when Colin did that interview with Jurassic Cast, how he started rambling excitedly about Jaws and bringing the fear that Jaws had. You can tell he had a lot of respect for Jaws. Also, something tells me the Mosasaur, and when he was talking about Jaws, he wasn't necessarily only thinking about Jaws. He was thinking about his Mosasaur scenes, and he was basically trying to be like, guys, there's rumors about marine reptiles. I'm not going to tell you yes, but
but yes,
yeah.
Well, we knew that, but I think that's really cool. I hope it's inside as well, like not in the. Obviously, there's probably going to be a scene in the actual Mosasaur tank underwater, but hopefully there's like an underground, like maybe aquarium or these tunnels that they. I don't know. I just want something inside a dark tank, like a dark underwater, concrete kind of freaky area.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the Mosasaur, and the fact that extras who filmed the Mosasaur feeding scene were told that they would see themselves in a trailer in November. I wonder if we're going to see the Mosasaur in the first trailer. Yeah, I really hope we do. That would be the perfect way to entice people into the movie. You see a brief glimpse of a marine creature. That way, it's like, oh, hey, there's something that we've never seen in a Jurassic Park film.
Something new.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that would be like what they would show at the end of the trailer. I would imagine the trailer opens up with people not realizing it was a Jurassic Park film.
But I'm looking at the underwater cinematographer. It's obviously quite an intense, or it's a big scene because it's not just somebody who's brought in. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but basically Pirates of the Caribbean, Jumper, Hunger Games, Into the Wild. This guy's got some intense credits. So it's a very, I think it's not a large part of the movie, but it's obviously a very good scene.
Yeah,
or something like that. It's something that.
I'd imagine we spend like one or two big scenes, probably at least two big scenes with the Mosasaur.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Mosasaurus seems like the least threatening of all the dinosaurs on the island.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it broke
It's
into
like,
the main
oh, it's a
water.
big body of water. Let's just not go there.
Yeah, well, there's two. There's a few ways you could do it. I mean, remember the monorail goes over the body of water.
Does it actually?
Yeah, because on the
Okay.
map, the monorail cuts over the lagoon. So if something were to happen to put the monorail in a vulnerable position for the mosasaur, that's always a shot. I mean, that's stretching it, but it's something. That's stretching it a bit. Something could go wrong during one of their feeding shows. I don't think that's going to happen, or something could accidentally throw you in the water. I don't know.
See, the more you guys are talking about something bad happening at the park, the more I get a little bit upset at this plot idea. It's like everything that's going to go wrong is going to happen on this specific day, but nothing else went wrong in the past, 10 years. That sounds pretty bullshit to me, I'm not going to lie.
But
I'm upset by the idea of that happening.
it kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm not sure what I mean.
It's like, okay, we're having a perfect day, 3,000 days without any incidents, and then today, all the dinosaurs are going to get loose. Everyone's going to die.
Yeah, but
The dinosaur that gets loose, though, sounds like a pretty dangerous dinosaur, and it just sounds like their reaction to it getting free and the ways that they try to stop it made things worse.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm thinking the Diabolus Rex, or the Indominus Rex, I should say. I think it might knock its way through different paddocks. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't know that, but it's something that would make sense to me. Is if it just kind of busts through. I don't know. I mean, if the paddocks are working to keep dinosaurs from getting out, I guess it'd work from. Not necessarily. Never mind. Because you can jump into an animals exhibit at a zoo, but getting out of it's a different story. So, I one way or another, I mean, I think that we'll see it presented in a way that's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Also, when you're saying the mosasaur is the least scary, yeah, it's the least scary in the lagoon. I mean, it's a scary dinosaur. It's a really cool. It's not a dinosaur. Goddamn, it's a marine reptile. It's a scary marine reptile, but a really cool one. But it would be terrifying if it got into the waterways, like if it somehow got free. But,
I guess.
But from what I remember looking at the map, the lagoon.
I don't think it can.
Yeah, the lagoon didn't attach to anything, so I don't think it can either. But the concept of the mosasaur being free in the oceans, especially if there are multiples and they somehow could breed, once again, that would be an interesting plot. I mean, it would take a really long time for that to be an issue, but it would still be interesting.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, just having a mosasaur cruising the rivers of Nublar is kind of scary with the Cretaceous cruise. It's like, oh yeah, you're just paddling down the river and then.
That's gotta happen.
Exciting. It's exciting, man. So, yeah, what have we talked about? We've talked about the e-stock sign.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked about the trailer that is.
Oh yeah.
The box office. There was a box office insider who claims, without a doubt, we will be seeing a Jurassic World teaser trailer with Interstellar in November. And one of our last podcasts, not the last one before that maybe, we did touch on the trailer, and we all had assumptions that it would be with Hunger Games in November or Interstellar.
No, I don't think. I think we said Dumb and Dumber. We didn't think of Interstellar.
I think
I
don't
think
know.
we mentioned Interstellar, but we thought it's just not the right audience.
Yeah, you guys said there's not enough kid audience in that one.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. But
Was that the
now-
one that I wasn't there for?
No, I think you were there.
I think you were there, but it might have been. I don't know. It was a while ago.
It's all blurring together.
Yeah, but I think that's a really interesting point. Like Interstellar, I don't know if they are doing it with Interstellar. They're missing the kid market, which is obviously for Jurassic Park is a big
Maybe.
thing, but it doesn't bother me. It's just
no.
I'm saying, you know.
Well, hold on. So for one thing, let's talk about this guy a little bit. He's been on the box office forums for about a year or two now. I think maybe 2 years. And
Spatula Shack, his name.
That's
is.
a great name. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
yeah.
Literally, his first post was somebody said, "Won't be surprised if our first look is the Super Bowl TV spot." And he said, "First trailer will debut on Interstellar."
Well, that's not his first post ever on the forums. It's his first post.
No,
in the
his
Jurassic-
first post
in the Jurassic
yeah.
World subset. But what I want to
And
say,
then
he has a track record with breaking box office numbers well before they're actually official and out there. So he works in some capacity in the film industry, and he's broken things before, and he's got a good track record with it. So it's not like he's just some guy like, oh, I know a guy who knows a guy. I swear my aunt saw this and told me. No, he's like, he's continuously broken things, and his immediate people are like, oh, Interstellar, doubt that, and he's like, it's my job to know these things.
He did say that.
So
he did. I'm just looking at his post.
Something like
there's
that could sink.
Yeah, there's some other people too that have amazing track records with this stuff. I'm following them on Twitter and just keep my eye open for that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
His post was, I'm not using the things are getting released in November rumor, brackets, whatever that means. He says, I'm using the I know the target debut for the trailer because it's my job to know these things.
That's professional.
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't even know that there were rumors about November. And that's the thing. We kept hearing November. However, we just had to speculate on the film. He came out with a ton of confidence with Interstellar, which was just literally not the movie that people were picking, because people were mostly going... Some people were saying Dumb and Dumber 2, because it was just flat out a Universal film. I was banking on Hunger Games, because it's a big, big movie.
Yep. Hunger Games for me.
But Interstellar...
I'm not going to lie. Go ahead.
Interstellar makes a ton of sense. It's legendary. It's not Universal, but it's legendary. It premieres before Dumb and Dumber and Hunger Games, which means the Jurassic World trailer can still be attached to both of those movies. It will premiere on Interstellar, and it'll still be able to ride off of Dumb and Dumber and Hunger Games, which is the big deal. Dumb and Dumber doesn't look good to me at all, to be honest with you.
Nope.
It looks horrible. It looks really bad.
It's about 10 years too late.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up seeing it eventually. I'll be like, oh, hey, that was actually kind of funny. But the trailers, just they really tried too hard, in my opinion. I know.
Yeah. But the thing is, it definitely won't be a full trailer. What we'll see with Interstellar will be the first footage, and it'll be
a
this
teaser.
might Simpson. It will be teaser, but it will be a short one. It will be 30 seconds or something. I think
it'll be longer than 30 seconds. It'll be longer than...
I don't think so.
No, because that's too short.
They're going to throw it in our face.
You don't get movie teasers that go into theater. Well, no, yeah, you don't. You really don't get any teasers and theatrical teasers that are shorter than a minute. I mean, but that's with the credit rolls. I mean, you're going to see the Legendary logo, you're going to see the Universal logo, and you're going to see footage, and then you're going to get like the Jurassic World logo, and then like a date drop. But I think the entire sequence of events should take about a minute or so.
Yeah, okay, a minute, yeah, with all the credits and that. But the thing is, it's just they've thrown us nothing yet. We haven't even got a poster, we haven't got a synopsis, so if November really is when we're going to see a teaser, they're not going to be like, alright, here's a full,
Oh yeah, we're not going to get a theatrical trailer.
It's so subtle. No.
We will get
footage. Which is fine. It's like, I'm fine, it's fine, I just kind of want to see that now,
Yeah, I want to see I want to see people move around.
I'm sticking to the fact that Super Bowl will be the full trailer.
Well, Super Bowl, they won't show it during the Super Bowl, for the record.
Like, it premiere afterwards.
They'll show a sizzle reel, like a 30-second long action sizzle reel with some really cool shots, and then online afterwards there'll be the full trailer that's from.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Oh, can we rule out that one guy who said he had the trailer in his hands? Like, he's had that for ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I got enough from him to verify that he works for a company that deals with translations. He still says that they never got a key. So whether or not that was sent out accidentally, or I don't know. I don't know.
It was something. The length was 2 minutes. That was a long.
Something
one as well.
Doesn't make sense to me about that whole thing. However, the person definitely does work for a company that does that in an official capacity. But beyond that, I really can't say. I mean, he obviously hasn't posted about it again. Hasn't tried saying anything to anyone else elsewhere, so it's like it doesn't seem like it was a publicity stunt since he deleted the tweet shortly afterwards. Just it's still something doesn't add up about it. So, I mean, it's interesting. He definitely is legitimate about his job, but beyond that, I'm not really sure what else to say about it. It's confusing.
Yeah.
And then
it is confusing.
We can touch on that post. Hold on, I got a reply to a PM I think I sent 7 months ago somewhere.
We'll cut this empty space. And make sure we talk about the visitor center too, and we...
Oh yeah, how the hell have we missed that out?
I will leave at the end. make sure we we shout out Brysonator100 on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So remember how someone else said they had a friend who worked in the trailer business, and their boss had told them that they got something big from Universal, and they assumed it was Jurassic World?
No.
Well, it happened on JP Legacy, and then the person deleted the post shortly afterwards.
JP Legacy. Don't get me started on that bullshit.
This person only has two posts. And they deleted that post right after they said it. They joined the forum to say, hey, I've got a friend, and they also said the same thing. I finally got a reply from him months later saying, sorry, I never really came back after making that post. It was Jurassic World, not sure if they actually got the key or not. Obviously, nothing premiered, etc., etc. Talking to him recently, he said he heard November. He said which goes along with Interstellar rumors. So, I mean, that's that. I was going on a JP Legacy, though, for something else. It was for that post by that other forum member.
A friend of my friend? That one?
Which, to be fair, honestly, isn't the most reliable source in the world.
No kidding.
When someone doesn't have a good track record. When someone doesn't have a track record of sharing anything. However, this person's been a forum member for long enough, and they haven't made up fake rumors before, so we'll just say it. I mean, this person claims that he's got a friend. A great friend has a friend. Ugh. That just does not sound. We'll humor it. We'll humor it. For all we know, he's the friend that's the friend. Maybe he's trying to distance himself from it.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Go on.
She sent him a text late last night saying that she saw this week some scenes from Jurassic World without music and CGI. And she said, literally, this movie is going to be amazing. You have goosebumps, literally. Actors have incredible chemistry, and they are interacting very well.
I think that's loaded. That's wrong. I think the post says something like, "Oh, my friend works at Universal Orlando," and it's like nobody in a theme park would ever be shown footage.
You are wrong there. If they're in creative or if they're in the upper capacity, they will be shown things. A lot of things.
Really?
Yeah.
If they just work in a theme park?
Yeah, I've made some friends. I didn't make close friends. When I go places, I start talking to people, and they just start telling me stuff that they probably shouldn't tell me.
Dude, group trip to Orlando. Let's go.
When I was in Disney, when I was in Disney last time, I started talking to someone there, and she'd been working at Disney for a long time, and she started just going on about Star Wars Land and everything like that, and all the trouble they're having behind the scenes and things like that, and talking about how they talked with things about the new movie and just going on. I was just eating my dinner and talking to her, and it was just really cool.
But would they really be shown Jurassic World footage? Is this movie they've been hiding it from everyone?
Oh no, but they've been shown it at Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro's seen it. That
lady but Hasbro's a massive.
No, but Hasbro's been showing it to random guests that come in, that don't even work at. Yeah.
Let's go there right now. Group trip, please.
Yeah, getting in there is a little bit more difficult than that. I'd love to get.
We're Jurassic detectives. Let us in.
Exactly. That's a great credential to get. I mean, given obviously, I'll be honest with you. If I signed an NDA, I would disappear off of Twitter entirely. I would be like, okay. I mean, I obviously never have asked anyone to break their NDA for me to share things online or anything like that. People have come to us and things along those lines. If we had NDAs, we would just be like, someone else write for the website because we can't.
Yeah, if we got NDAs, we'll just quit the site.
Well, not quit the site, but we would just have to cover official news essentially.
Yeah, no, we'd only cover official news. But I've already thought about that. But it's not going to happen, is it? It would have happened by now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you never know. Never know.
Come on, Universal.
Well, I mean,
you're the biggest fans.
There's always the shot that God, I hope that they don't listen to the podcast now because some of our speculation apparently ended up being right about certain things. Do you remember what I'm talking about? I'm obviously not going to say anything beyond that. Yes. And they're going to think that our speculation was just us having an inside track.
That was so long ago, though.
Yeah, it was so long. I can't believe that ended up being right. We'll talk about.
I don't know.
We'll talk about what was right in months and months and months and months from now after Jurassic World came out.
Wait. What? I missed that. What?
Remember your message, your guy, your source thing, the big long message. Ankylosaurus. You're gonna have to cut that part out because that's.
If you're a new user, go listen to our older podcast and see if you can find it.
But don't. We got to cut out the related dinosaurs.
Sorry, is this Indominus? Is this what we're talking about?
No. Ankylosaurus. Remember how I said the kids were going to be in the gyrosphere, and it would just be hilarious to see the Ankylosaurus club the gyrosphere like a ball, and it's he ended up saying that's what happens.
Okay, yeah.
Which is really funny
Okay,
because
that sounds great too.
That's super specific. They're gonna think I
That was
knew
a
that.
helicopter.
They're gonna think I knew that. I did not know that. I just saw two good set piece moments that meshed together very well. And if they listen to that, they're like, God damn it, he's just spoiling everything, isn't he? And I'm like, I didn't know that. But anyways, we can't. We got to cut out any specifics that even point.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil that for anyone. But I mean, honestly, I would have. Actually, I'm kind of glad I know that because the fact that
Boost your ego a bit.
No, because I just am so glad that I'm like, I got that.
Okay. We have some questions sent to us on Twitter.
Before we touch Owen, we should do the visitor center picture.
Yeah, the visitor center.
Yeah, okay. Somebody run us through this. I was asleep during this. I was completely asleep. It was 4 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
And I woke up to a hell of a load of messages from Asees and Chris. Go ahead.
Alright, so basically, I'm about to fall asleep. I'm lying down on my bed. I get this notification from Brysonator100 on Twitter. I check it. And what do I see? Holy shit. Picture from inside the visitor center. I message Chris. And yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, so then
I'm pretty sure the image is legit. Like, it can't. It's the same.
Yeah, it's legit.
There's no question if it's legitimate or not.
I mean, the only thing is that when I saw it on my phone, I looked at it and I immediately thought the whole thing looks incredibly CGI. And it's until you see it on a big screen that it doesn't look. I think it's because of the blur.
You just woke up.
Yeah, exactly. I'd just woken up and I was like, "Wow, that just looks fake."
I don't think it looks
looking
like
at
CG
it now.
But I mean, it's not CG. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, no, it's real. And the Hammond image above Hammond, you had that kind of
that bronze thing.
Yeah, the kind of bronze, and that's here as well. And this kind of coincides with what we've seen.
Yeah,
it looks like the inside of that Hawaiian Convention Center, which is what they were using for.
Actually,
some things,
yeah. At first, I thought that was. I was thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, because the Hawaii Convention Center was a visitor center. But now I remember that people that were on the set said it was Jurassic.
That's the
hotel. It was
hotel.
Jurassic World Hilton.
Yeah,
and the monorail station connected through there. However, if we remember, actually, Main Street connects to the visitor center. So outside those green screens, it's going to be a view of Hawaii, like some of the country, the landscape, and it's going to connect to Main Street. Now, why is that green screened? Well, the two sets are at two completely different locations. One's at NASA and one's at Six Flags. Of course, they need green screens to attach them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's as simple as that.
Some people were commenting,
people are
too much CGI, and I saw those comments when I woke up as well, and I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
of course,
obviously,
of course the windows are green screen.
New Orleans, like, they're not going to build that set in Hawaii because it's obviously not cost effective. Like, just
people
realize how the movie industry works for a minute, and then judge what you're going to say.
I honestly think people are just looking for anything they can find to complain about this movie. It's
CGI
ridiculous.
Backgrounds just. Like the whole green screen background replace like matte paintings in background.
Exactly.
That's kind of just how the film industry works because the interiors are never in the same place as exteriors.
They could do that, or they could put curtains over the windows and be like, "Oh, you don't get to see outside." No, you have to.
Yeah, once you're in, you're in.
No, it's not. I mean, we know they built Main Street. We know they built all these sets. Of course, they're going to be.
They built so much.
Of course, they're going to be compositing some of them together. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you guys remember the concept art that leaked out from inside the visitor center? There were two. I forget what they were called. One was like the lava one. One was the not lava one.
Yeah, it was like a lava pit thing.
And some people weren't entirely convinced that one was Jurassic World. It was Jurassic World.
Obviously, it was Jurassic World.
Yeah, I mean, we got confirmations. I don't know if we ever talked about those getting confirmed, but either way, there was Jurassic World. It's off the artist's blog and everything like that. It got taken off shortly after the other guy took down his stuff. But I mean, it's kind of the similar concept. You're looking out the window, and you're going to see like a path leading up, and then it's going to go to Main Street.
Like if you've watched that on-set video, which everyone has, the Today Show one, they've spent so much money building real sets. This movie is absolutely fantastic.
Can we talk about the fact that the Today Show visited the ugliest part of the set a little bit? Because the part that Today Show went to didn't look incredibly Jurassic Park. It looked very generic. Well, I can tell you one thing. outside of the visitor center, what is supposed to be outside of the visitor center of Main Street looks really cool, and it looks very Jurassic Park. Like,
Yes.
It does.
Like big decorational amber, bamboo, stuff like that.
Yeah, no need to worry about being
went to
futuristic.
they went to like a standard area, but you got to admit, like on film, it'll look different anyway.
Oh yeah, it'll look different on film anyways. But I mean, I'm just saying, like at the closer you get to the visitor center, the more resorty and Jurassic Parky it looks, and I mean that as a great thing. Also, I think the inside of this visitor center looks pretty much like a visitor's. It looks like a museum, and it looks like a Jurassic Park museum. I mean, you got that bronze plaque up there, and you can see brachiosaurs on it. I think that's about the
it definitely. Yeah, it looks like a museum. It looks less. I have to admit, it looks less cool than the original visitor center inside with all the skeletons. But we don't know what's going to be.
Well, the skeletons are outside. The skeleton is outside, and it's a cool looking skeleton.
Yeah, but this is like a. It's an interesting. It's like we don't know what it looks like other than we're seeing the doorway basically.
Yeah.
Let's go through these questions then. Obviously the visitor center image is fantastic. That's really cool. I mean, I didn't expect to wake up to something like that.
Yeah, it looks Jurassic. I like it.
Yeah, it's very nice, very cool. So Owen on Twitter, his handle is Owen Pratt 93. He says, "Do you think Mike Giacchino will use the original themes or only new ones?" So I'm thinking he'll have his own complete score because his music is absolutely amazing. But
Yes, it is.
he'll at the end credits or something.
I think
Through the movie we'll get subtle like John Williams hints, and then at the end credits, I think we're going to get Jurassic Park theme.
I think
I think
he would
so.
be a fool not to put the Jurassic Park theme in before the end credits, at least once. But yeah, I think we'll get mostly a new score that builds off the original one. That has elements
a bit different.
Yeah.
A bit different to the JP3 one.
I did not like the.
You have to keep it
score.
new. What?
Well, my favorite score, honestly, Lost World.
Yep, Lost World. Agree.
Lost World.
I love that score.
John
Okay, I'm not gonna say
Williams
anything about that.
Knocked it out of the park. The variation he used in the instruments and the percussion and just the theme,
And it was so different to Jurassic Park as well, but so similar.
It was an amazing. I think it's one of John Williams' better scores. It's definitely an underrated score of his. Like, I think it's one of those scores that people should like. If you haven't heard the Lost World score on its own, you like music, go give it a listen again because that's a really good score. But it did touch on the Jurassic Park theme here and there, and it sounded very Jurassic Park. So if Giacchino, if Giacchino does sort of a Lost World type of thing where he takes it his own way, but it still feels connected to the same musical universe and still revisits the themes at the appropriate times, so it still feels like a sequel. Because
when we see the first dinosaur, I would be happy to hear.
Because I mean, side note, the Halo franchise. It's a video game series, and really well known for its music as well. Really good iconic music. The fourth Halo game did not revisit the old themes, and it felt like weird.
Yeah, that game was a disappointment.
The fourth Halo did not touch on any of the original Halo themes. They're like, oh, we wanted to create our own new thing, but it was like Star Wars without the Star Wars music, and it didn't feel right at all. Like I totally respect doing new themes, and I definitely agree with it, but there wasn't any element of the old left in there, so it just kind of felt disjointed, disconnected, and like a cheap spin-off. So they definitely need to touch on the themes a little bit.
Yes.
That pause scared me. I'm like, did I disconnect?
No.
I was freaking out too.
Completely. Another question comes from Yaroslav. He says, "How possible do you think Isla Sorna may be involved? Do you think they may have rounded up some dinosaurs from there too?" That's a really interesting question, actually, because obviously, I don't think it's going to be involved or even mentioned.
Why not? People are freaking out over the Lost World being taken out of canon. Well, not people.
I don't understand.
It's obviously going to be canon.
I don't understand why people are complaining.
I don't
get it.
Is it just because the very, 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 very vague pre-release marketing hasn't talked about Sorna at all? Like, why would they talk about Sorna? I don't understand why they would talk about Sorna anyways.
No, it's a bad side of InGen.
There's no reason to assume that they would ever need to talk about that. Also, to be honest,
there's no reason to assume that they wouldn't be canon.
Yeah, just because they don't talk about it doesn't mean it's not canon. I mean, there's literally, I can't think of a good reason for them to talk about it, unless for some reason it's brought up, like when they're talking about the way they breed the dinosaurs in Jurassic World. However, I'm going to tell you this: odds are they do all the science on the island itself. It makes sense to do it all in one location. That way, you don't have transportation issues with the dinosaurs.
Now it does. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, it made more sense even for Jurassic Park. Just they needed a sequel with Second Island for the plotline. Sorna doesn't make sense unless you wanted a unless you wanted what Sorna became, for it to be like a dinosaur preserve for them just roaming free, it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, there's no point of a second island.
I think people just want to complain for whatever reason. I don't understand why.
Yeah, and I think it's down to the fact that we've still not gotten we're getting a lack of, not that we need it at this point, but that it's not being talked about.
Well, I'll tell you
be.
this. I mean, I don't think Universal even owns IslaNublar.com. I think
let's buy it.
No, someone already owns it. I, however, own IslaSorna.com.
Nice. You should just get it to redirect to our site for now.
I own so many website URLs, and I'm like broke right now. I don't know what to do with them.
Sell them.
We'll talk about that because I want to get back on that project I was talking about.
Yeah,
and I took a hiatus mainly because I just started doing things all summer. I was just all over the place, and it's
fine, man. Yeah, we will get back on that. Something like that we can have as our own thing. But yeah, okay. Williams just asked any follow up to the canister Nedry dropped in JP1, but yeah, we've already touched on that.
What is it? What are we on about?
Just something really interesting.
Good.
So Yaroslav is he's a friend of mine. He's a really good artist. He's tweeted, also, Jack, if you could mention my speculation about Jake Johnson and his nostalgic desk and possibly Malcolm Book cameo. So I forgot about that, so I'm just going through my messages. He sent me a bit of a theory, so I'm just going to read through it. So Yaroslav's message basically, so he remembers reading in a recent interview with Jake Johnson that he hinted at his character being a huge fan of the original park, and knowing the events that occurred. If this is Johnson in tech guy costume, then this is, by the way, this is talking about the inside the...
Yeah, I've got the image pulled up right now, where it's Jake Johnson, Vincent D'Onofrio, Lauren Lapkus, and I forget the other guy's name. I think he was just like a...
Yeah. So it says, then this is a very insightful picture that actually has plenty of nods to the originals. First, Johnson is wearing a JP t-shirt, which may hint in his character being a hopeful attendee at the original park and purchasing eventual scrapped park merchandise, not to mention all the dinosaur toys on the nearby desk, assuming it's his, considering all the tech surrounding. Second, what Sander van Duvenbode... I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, I guess that's the gentleman whose name I did not know.
Okay. Mentioned about the book with possibly Jeff Goldblum's pick on the back.
Oh, no.
That may hint at Johnson's character being aware of the past incidents and taking up Ian Malcolm's written assessment on the chaotic nature of the park after surviving the events, as briefly mentioned in Lost World and JP3. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting...
That does look like Malcolm's picture, to be honest with you. Like, I'm looking at that
Lost
book
World
right
picture.
Now. That looks like that. I mean, that looks like Jeff Goldblum. That doesn't mean,
or it kind of does look like Michael Crichton's. Obviously, it's not going to be, but it looks like Michael Crichton's poses.
Honestly,
on the back of his book.
Honestly, that might just be an Easter egg, though. Like, I mean, I don't think that we're going to see it going into too deep of touching on that, but it might just be an Easter egg, like something if you look at the right place at the right time, you'll be like, oh man, he's got a book for me and Malcolm on his desk, like just an insightful nod towards the franchise past.
Hey, if you think about what he's saying, though, if you look at the desk and you see that Brachiosaurus toy, that does look like the Brachiosaurus toy in the first Jurassic Park movie. You remember the one that they kind of pan across and they got lunch boxes and stuff?
I don't think that is. Like that. I think that's it's either Carnegie or Schleich.
Okay, it could be Hasbro or something, but either way, it's a sweet theory, and he's wearing a red
Hasbro never did a Brachiosaur, and that one's not Hasbro.
No, but it could be for Jurassic World. Them saying, "All right, we need some stuff on the desk. It's going to be seen in the movie."
None of those look like Hasbro, though. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but we don't know what Hasbro's doing for Jurassic World yet. Okay. But I think it's a really interesting theory, and it looks like he's definitely a fan, because that is an original shirt.
Yeah, I think Jake Johnson represents the hardcore Jurassic Park fans in real life.
And I'm so glad he's in it. He's such a good actor.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's either going to represent the hardcore Jurassic Park fan, or he's going to represent the groupie.
What?
He might kind of be like the
groupie. How?
Like, instead of him being like the hard, like, instead of him representing the hardcore Jurassic Park fan base, like, very passionate about it, he may represent, like, the fanatical groupie type of character.
That's still our fan base, though, is it not?
That's a lot of a certain fan base.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Davis has asked, do you think this story in the JP universe will mirror the events of JP and draw on some unexplored events from the book?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think
absolutely.
it'll mirror it in the sense that it's a remake. Like, kind of, it's not like, I think it's going to flow very differently. But I think at the same point, it is a park that fucks up. Like, that's kind of, we know that. So yeah, maybe.
I think there'll be some
Unexpected
nods to the book. I mean, I don't know. This is just 100% pure speculation. I think that there will be nods to the book.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with the Indominus Rex, they're nodding towards the Lost World Carnotaurus a bit, barely.
Are you guys afraid? Are you guys afraid of the movie being a rehash of the first one?
No, nothing about it really seems like a rehash.
I don't know.
There's literally, like, the idea. The first movie was like a park with like 15, like an island with a few buildings and 15 people on it, and this movie is a fully built up resort with like 20,000 people on it.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's what Hammond wanted.
Flocks of
same thing happens though, right? Dinosaurs get loose, park gets destroyed. Same thing, right?
Yeah. But we don't know how and why in this one.
I swear to God.
In the first park, it was down to, them not really knowing how to deal with it.
Well, we are going to see them. I mean, we're definitely going to see those themes revisited of them, thinking they had more control than what they did and screwing themselves over.
You never had control. That's the illusion. That line might make a comeback.
That was a great.
I love that scene, man. Just that scene in Jurassic Park where it all calms down and they're eating ice cream at the table. Not the kids. I mean, like,
yeah.
And that scene is it brings so many, it brings tears to my eyes because it's so.
It's a great
just
scene.
Emotional, and it's just like she's just telling him, John, you were wrong, and it's like, oh yeah. I love Jurassic Park. No. I don't know if you know, but I love Jurassic Park.
Really?
I hear it's a good movie.
It's all right. Yeah, it's
Jurassic
not
Park?
bad. Yeah, I might check it out.
Yeah.
Somebody has also said the Avatar. That's a pretty good name, actually. And his handle is Avatar the. So obviously someone already had the Avatar.
That's great.
Would you have been mad if Joe Johnston directed Jurassic World?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Why?
He had his chance with Jurassic Park 3.
No. Look what he did with Captain America. It was a great movie.
It was okay.
No,
I loved it. Go on, you say your opinion.
It was a fun movie, and he just clearly doesn't know how to film effects. And Jurassic Park is a very effects-driven film.
No, I think
he doesn't. He doesn't know how to film practical effects in a way that they don't look staged.
That's okay. We don't need practical effects, anyways.
Oh yes, we do. And Jurassic Park's established upon strong, good practical effects.
I'm kidding.
The problem is when he films practical effects, they look very, very staged. It's really hard to explain, but I mean, it's been a problem with all of his modern movies, like in the past 10, 15 years. Okay. I just don't think
the action scenes he shoots are better than Spielberg. Absolutely,
dude. There's two very, very good scenes in Jurassic Park 3. The plane sequence I really like, regardless of what you think of the Spino. Chris, like the scene itself is put.
I like the plane sequence up until they're in the tree, and then it's pretty cheesy. But that's what I mean. The sequence, like when they crash and they're crashing, it's all good. The takeoff, the hitting of the Spino, the crash, that's pretty cool. But then as soon as you've got Amanda freaking out, and you see the Spino's derpy head go. It doesn't look like a real dinosaur. It looks like a comedy skit. I mean, it doesn't work. From there on, it doesn't work.
We'll save this.
And once again,
for the JP3
the reason why it doesn't work is because he's doing practical effects and it looks very staged. When it was CG, it was CG, it looked good, but that was because it was IOM basically directing the scene.
Whatever, the aviary scene was top notch. Best action scene in any Jurassic Park movie. I don't care.
Strongly disagree. I think that you.
What?
That doesn't come close to the original Jurassic Park T-Rex breakout. The raptors
no way.
And the tension of the raptors in the kitchen doesn't touch it. The Lost World trailer scene is one of the best sequel scenes.
Oh.
Can I be honest with you for one sec though? The scene, the kitchen scene, I never liked it. Not even as a kid. I will skip over that part.
Well, that is one of...
No, it never did anything for me.
What about it, though, Asees?
I don't know, like, even since a kid, I was like, this is boring, this is stupid, I'm going to skip over. Go to the T-Rex.
Is it because it's like kids being stupid kids?
I
don't know,
pretty damn smart for kids.
Even as a kid, though, I never even liked watching the Raptors chase these little kids. I'm like, this is stupid.
I don't know.
Nothing's going to happen to
That scene
kids.
was tense. I mean, it's got that whole cat and mouse aspect to it, and with the Velociraptors,
it's a good scene. I like the scene.
You really get to see the Raptors be thoughtful. You can really get a sense for their intelligence and the fact that they're, pack. They had a pack dynamic, and that they were hunting. You got to feel them hunt. They weren't just ruthlessly killing. They were sniffing out their prey. They were methodical. They were slow. They're taking their time. I don't know. It had a lot of tension, but they never felt like a monster.
Like, I understand it's good and everything, but it's just not. It doesn't do anything for me.
I don't know. If you ever seen an animal hunt something, sometimes when it stalks its prey, and it knows its prey is close, so it doesn't need to bound towards it. It just really.
Arya hunts me 24/7. It's dangerous.
It had that tension to it. I think that's one. That scene in the Jurassic, the Tyrannosaur breakout scene are two phenomenal scenes. I mean, it really.
T-Rex scene's great.
But I agree. I agree with Asees that the scene in Jurassic Park 3, the Avery sequence, is fucking great.
Oh, it's great.
It's a great scene.
It's not as good as the other ones, but it is a great scene.
I think it's terrifying though, because you can't see anything, and then he's like, "Yeah, it's fine," and then you get that thump on the bar when he's holding it, and it's like, "Wait, that's not right." It's great build up. Love that scene. It should have been longer.
Oh yeah, it should. But that's the problem. It's a film with one really good scene, and the rest.
Look, we'll touch on this in the Jurassic Park 3 pod, because we could go on for hours, clearly.
Yeah.
Personally, no, I wouldn't have been mad if Joe Johnston directed Jurassic World. But, okay, I wouldn't have been mad if he directed JP4, like he was going to for so long, because I knew after... I mean, the whole... He obviously learnt from the mess that Jurassic Park 3's production was. Like, they didn't have a script when they were shooting.
I'm going to stop you there.
Wait,
after Jurassic Park 3, he made Wolfman. He did not learn.
No, that wasn't his fault.
Chris,
that wasn't his fault.
No, listen, man. Listen, the Wolfman, he had the same deal. He walked into
I know.
a month before shooting.
It wasn't his movie.
Like, any director who picks that up, it doesn't work because somebody else has done all the prep.
And he likes the pain or something. Why does he keep putting himself in these situations?
I think it's because he obviously, after JP3, wasn't getting any work. Like, Hidalgo just failed. Never saw the film myself. It failed. And then finally the Wolfman comes along. It's a big Universal franchise.
Did Hidalgo fail?
Yeah, it didn't make any money.
Well, it was a decent movie.
I need to watch it. But look, I wouldn't have been mad because I like his... I have an unnatural love for Joe Johnston, and I don't know why.
So do I.
I think it's
weird.
because October Sky is a absolutely brilliant movie. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Jumanji, the films I grew up on. So I love Joe Johnston, I love his work. And then Captain America was awesome.
Yes.
And there are parts of JP3 that I really, really like. Like, any fan can watch some of it and enjoy it. So when he was in the prep for Jurassic World... for Jurassic Park 4, I was not annoyed that he was directing it because he obviously learnt, and Spielberg was always going to be more involved with Jurassic Park 4 anyway, so I knew they would have a much stronger hold on it rather than just letting Joe kind of just throwing him the project. Like JP3. So I knew they would go for a new story because in 2001 there was that interview with Kathleen Kennedy and she said, yeah, we got to get it right this time. You know, she said that we're going to get that script right. And it took them 12 years, but they did.
Yeah, they finally got that script right. Hopefully.
But that's why I wouldn't be mad, because I do have a love for Joe Johnston, and I
just think his
But I'm much more happy. I'm so glad it's just new. Everything's new.
But my biggest issue about him is the way that he handles humor. It's a little bit on the nose and cheesy. Like, there's nothing really clever about his humor. It's kind of goofy. And I just don't think that... given Spielberg did some bad stuff with The Lost World, mainly the gymnastics scene. But beyond that, I think that movie was a really good movie. But I think Joe Johnston, overall, his character dynamics, his characters don't feel very believable. And I know a lot of that comes down to the script. And he did a good job with Captain America's characters, but the humor was a little bit more on the nose. However, it feels a lot more in place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But my biggest thing is his usage of practical effects oftentimes feel like there's something out of a stage play. They feel very limited. They feel very rigid. They don't feel alive, and that's something that's dangerous territory to tread when you're doing a dinosaur movie. And I think that the shortcomings really showed in Jurassic Park 3. And I think that a lot of his visual shortcomings came into play in his movies after Jurassic Park 3. I mean, I kept seeing these same quirks and issues that I had with certain scenes reappear. Now, it didn't always appear. Some scenes in Captain America look great. But, I mean, at the same time, Marvel hasn't had a flop yet. I mean, they're a machine right now.
Yeah, they have a very strong hold on their films as well.
The directors aren't the only big players.
No.
So I don't
No. Kevin Feige he's a very smart man.
Yeah.
He's the producer of all of them.
They're being very careful. So, I mean, I think that Joe Johnston is a good director. Don't get me wrong.
I really like
I think Joe Johnston is a good director. I think that he does some really cool films. I don't think he's the right fit for Jurassic Park because of certain shortcomings in the way that he films things, and I just keep having these issues with his movies, and I just don't want that in my Jurassic Park films. Like,
that's fair enough, man, and you're not going to get it anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I really like his film, so I wouldn't have been mad. But like, it's taken this long; it makes sense for them to go with something completely new.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy with Colin Trevorrow. Like, I know we haven't seen the film, and we've only seen one of his movies, and like a short film he did. But I just, there's something about it that I just know.
Oh my god, that
because those films were so smart.
Are you talking about
they were so good?
What the hell was it? But the one where he's like,
Home Base.
Hey, well, it's clear what I gotta do now. I gotta fuck your mom.
Yeah,
it's like
it's great. It's humorous. It's smart.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it was shot badly. But
it was, yeah. I mean,
but it was years ago, you know. And Safety Not Guaranteed looked absolutely amazing. So,
yeah,
I'm very happy. But obviously, there's that chance that the movie's going to suck. There is a chance.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, the cards in play look great to me, but there's always a chance the movie will suck.
Yeah,
I mean,
Episode 1 looked amazing too, and then look what happened. Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, it did look amazing.
Yeah.
Now, given I'm gonna get some flack for this. I still think it's the better of the Star Wars prequels.
Oh God, Chris.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm just gonna come out Hayden Christensen. I just
No, listen to me. He's amazing in Episode 3. The dialogue sucks, but the facial expressions at the end when he's fighting Obi-Wan, perfect.
No, I don't know.
He's menacing. It works.
Yeah, he's menacing. He looks like the kid that's gonna shoot up the schoolroom. Not sure if that's what you want. You know what? To be fair,
that's what you want from Anakin Skywalker.
No, it's not what you want from Anakin Skywalker. That seems more like Luke went evil, because Luke was always whiny, but Darth Vader was so calm and controlled and rigid.
But he wasn't always like that.
Obviously not. But I'm just saying he didn't have I imagined Anakin as a lot more of a collected, confused, and not like in the confused like I hate you all and I'm just gonna kill you all type of thing. I imagine him in a much more collected I don't know, whatever. Nonetheless, the reason why I like Episode 1 the most is because I think it had one of the better villains. I think Darth Maul was a fantastic villain. I think the Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin dynamic was really interesting. Jar Jar was a mess. Oh god,
yes.
Jar Jar was a mess. Cut Jar Jar out of the movie.
Yep.
But I think that there was some really interesting dynamics at play, and then they just for some reason ended it all there. Like killing Darth Maul was a mistake. I'd have liked to see
but he's still alive, though. He's still alive.
Hopefully they just ignore that in the real, because they are.
Oh man,
also,
that's canon now. That's canon.
They're throwing away a lot of the expanded. Well, no, wait, it made it to Clone Wars, didn't it? It made it to Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars
so,
is it's canon.
Whatever. So he lived. That's bullshit. But
no.
He got chopped in half, and that completely undoes everything.
So, look what happened to Darth Vader. No legs, one arm.
Yeah, but he was, a master of the Force.
It's Star Wars, man.
And did Darth Maul really even use the Force that much? I don't remember that happening.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe once, like, open a door or something. I don't know.
He opened a door, so I don't know. Whatever.
He did.
No, I know. I'm just thinking how funny that is. I'm just saying, like... Episode 2 was a mess. Episode 3 had some cool action scenes, but it really felt like a generic action movie rather than a Star Wars movie.
Episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars.
Episode 1 felt like a Star Wars movie, just a cheesy one. Episode 3 felt like an action movie taking place in the Star Wars universe, which is why I like Episode 1 more. Plus, the pod racing action sequence is one of the greatest visual sequences I've seen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's a fun sequence. But I have to admit, I don't really like any of the prequels.
Yeah, I don't care for them that much.
I'm not really a big Star Wars guy, so the prequels to me are just a bit
But
of
the
a mess,
original
so
trilogy, phenomenal. I love them.
Okay, everyone gets a hard-on for the original trilogy, but it has a lot of problems too that people just ignore for whatever reason. Like, Luke was a whiny little bitch in episode
Oh my god,
4.
no, I've always hated Luke. He was pretty whiny, he gets a little bit better. But
And the
oh my
dialogue,
God.
people say the dialogue's amazing in the original trilogy, but it's not that great. It's kind of stupid.
Solo's dialogue's really good.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count.
It,
He's amazing.
it matches his character a lot. I mean, you've got that sarcastic know-it-all. He works really well, and he really carries it. Obi-Wan...
Oh yes, he's the best character.
Obi-Wan, he was in there for a short amount of time, but I think he felt very... He laid a good foundation to build upon the Jedi. Vader worked. I mean, he was a bit theatrical, but he was calm and collected.
Yep.
Luke, he was hit and miss. I mean, I'm excited that that Mark Hamill's
Episode
returning
7,
in that
he's
episode.
gonna
Yeah.
crush it. He's gonna crush it.
He's
Okay.
really good. He is really improved as an actor. He is so good at voices now. Also,
Guys, let's take a little detour from the Star Wars podcast. Let's
Thanks
talk
for
about.
listening to our Star Wars podcast.
There's a really good question here. Like this is, I've just been thinking about this for the past 10 minutes. Ruben asks, how do you think they'll handle the mystery and suspense since dinosaurs are a normal thing since they open to the park to the public?
I think
And you got to think for a minute. That's pretty interesting. Like once the dinosaurs are so in
Yes.
view and everyone can see them, the whole mystery and suspense that the franchise is built upon is like
No.
it's not really there.
I think the mystery and suspense will be based on the Indominus Rex now. Every other dinosaur, it's like, okay, dinosaur.
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah.
they're making. That's why they're doing the Indominus Rex in the park, like in the film, because you've got that story of a kid on his phone in front of the T-Rex behind him. So dinosaurs have become
Boring.
a little bit too. Okay, I've seen this. What else? And maybe that's after 5 years, maybe that would happen.
Indominus. I mean, okay. Well, that's the thing. There wasn't.
It's a good question.
It's
though.
a good
Very
question. I don't think that mystery was there for audiences for the second and third film, though. To be fair, it was there for some of the characters, and you're still going to have it there for some of the characters in the new movie. I mean, you're going to have it there for Gray, played by Ty Simpkins. He's going to be ecstatic seeing the dinosaurs, so you're gonna empathize with his character with the mystery and suspense of finally seeing dinosaurs in person. So it's still going to be there via some of the characters, absolutely. Indominus Rex is a new way to introduce the idea of like something really engineered, not just not trying to clone something that existed, but create something out of things that already existed. And then the Mosasaur is something new.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's going to be all about presenting new, unique situations, ways to reveal the animals. Dimorphodon is going to be interesting because it's so much. It's a smaller pteranodon than what we've seen in the other films. This thing's more like a prawn on wings.
That's true.
How big are these things? Are they strong? Like lift a human off the ground?
In reality, no.
Okay.
In Jurassic Park reality, they're looking a little bigger anyways already. Because they said they had people motion capturing for them and.
Yeah, Martin Kluge or whatever.
Extras talked.
They're gonna be fun.
Extras talked about people being lifted and thrown around, stuff like that. So I mean, it's definitely they're gonna be a bit bigger unless there's two species of pteranodons. But no, I think the Dimorphodons will be bigger. I'm thinking they'll probably be like man-sized, which isn't that much of a stretch. Yeah, I mean it is, but
I got a final question here from Goldblum for President.
Good name.
Says,
good name.
Yeah, good name, very good name. How would you like the Jurassic World trailer presented to us? A lot of dinosaurs in the trailer, or quick glimpses, or how do we want to? Do we want to be thrown all in and see everything?
I assume we're talking about the first trailer.
No, I'm going to assume he says trailer. He didn't say the first trailer. He said Jurassic World trailer. So the full
the main one
trailer that tells us everything. Because obviously we want the teasers to not show us much other than maybe like a raptor shadow or something. I don't know. We want the teasers to be subtle. The full trailer itself. How do you want?
Why don't we say what we want out of both real quick?
Yeah.
Who wants to go?
I'll go first.
Asees wants to go first.
All right. Considering I'm not going to watch any of the main trailers, I want to see.
You will.
No,
you so will.
I will not. I won't let this movie be ruined for me like Godzilla. Anyways, in the teaser trailer, I want to see the Rex, because in my mind, I can't picture the new Jurassic World Rex for whatever reason. It's too foreign of an idea for me.
You're talking about the Indominus Rex?
No, like T-Rex, like regular T-Rex. I can't picture what it would look like for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why. Maybe some character dialogue, and that's about it. For main trailer, I don't care. I'm not going to watch it either way, so that's up to you guys.
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, for the teaser trailer, I want. I think I want both the kind of, welcome to Jurassic World, come visit today, like a park advertisement. And then I think for the actual teaser trailer, I think I want something that's incredibly subtle but very nostalgic, but also very something big is coming. And then I don't really know what I want. I can see it in my head, I just can't talk about it. And then for the full trailer, I don't want to see dinosaurs like full on, like some full on shots, like a Rex just like there or something. But I don't want to just be like constant dinosaur CGI trailer that looks like, your standard Transformers trailer or something like that. I think it's got to be subtle. It's got to make the dinosaurs scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to start out. I'll get into mine.
Yeah, go for it. No, go for it.
The teaser, I think the teasers should be really fun. So I do like your idea of a viral teaser, like, come visit Jurassic World today.
I think that's just, they'd be missing out if they don't do that. I think it's really funny.
I think that's something that I'm humoring. However, I think the other option is, and maybe these two options could kind of coexist fairly well, but I think the other option is like you kind of open up with a shot of an island. It doesn't necessarily say Jurassic Park. And you get these shots of tourists walking around this beautiful looking resort, but the camera is very careful not to exactly give it away that it's Jurassic Park, except for the online fans that absolutely know it's going to be Jurassic Park. Maybe you see a shot of like Chris Pratt, and you're like, oh, he's in this. D'Onofrio, Irfan Khan. Like, man, look at all these people in this movie. What is this movie about? Like, you get these kind of shots, and you see this park, and you kind of get this idea that's maybe a zoo or a resort or something like that. You see some like monorails, and you're like, what is this? And then maybe the camera goes into the Mosasaur Auditorium, and you hear someone talking about an animal and something like that, and you see everyone looking at the water, and then, like, right at the end of the trailer, you just kind of see the Mosasaur jump out for a second to grab the shark. You don't necessarily see it grab the shark, but you see the shark hanging up, and you're like, what the hell is this? And you see the Mosasaur come out of the water just for a second. You barely see it, but you see it. And then the trailer kind of cuts to black, Jurassic Park theme, Jurassic World logo.
Yeah. I'd watch that. 10 out of 10 would watch it.
Because I like the idea of people kind of getting sucked into something, being interested in it, but for the most part not knowing it's a Jurassic Park film, and slowly like, okay, so it's a film about people working at a theme park. Okay, wait, no, there's more to this. Look at all these actors in this. What's it about? Wow, this looks like a big budget movie. What in the world is this about? Oh my god, is this a Jurassic Park? Is this another... Are they making a new Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're making another Jurassic Park film? That's kind of that's the hook, line, and sinker I want to have happen. People get interested.
And that's what needs to happen.
And then it's like, by the end of it, I want people to be like, oh my god, what? Like, I want people by the time it's over to be like, what the hell? Oh my god, this is exciting. Yeah, so you kind of you do it that way. That would be the way I'd want the teaser to happen. I think it would be really fun. And I think I could just imagine like that build up. Is it Jurassic Park? Oh my god, it's gonna be Jurassic Park. Oh my god, it's Jurassic Park. Oh my god, it's Jurassic Park. Like, that would make for a really good teaser. And then as for a trailer, in a similar concept, you show the park running and operating, but you're less aloof about it. You're more open about it being a Jurassic Park film. You see the different subsets of it, maybe some brief glimpses of dinosaurs behind glass or dinosaurs roaming down the fields. Majority of it spent with things going good, characters discussing dialogue. You get a basic idea of the plot, and then towards the end, you kind of see the dark side of when things start to hit the fan. And you just kind of see like one or two action shots, something scary, and maybe end with like a T-Rex roaring at the camera, clear view, and like a character like just like looking like, oh well, I'm screwed. But like show some of the darker side towards the end of it, and also keep have at least one money shot in it, not like a crazy money shot of like something that's a big spoiler, but just a dinosaur roaring at the camera, kind of like the famous T-Rex roaring when he comes out of the paddock. Just keep a little bit more in view, but mainly have it on the open side, and then something goes bad, you don't know why. You don't get a ton of shots of it, but you still get a clear idea that this movie's going to be big.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
The trailers are going to be fun, by
yeah.
the way, and I'm excited to see when we're finally going to see something. It's been a bit too long a silence.
Yeah,
for my liking.
It was funny. I was like, I felt like tweeting Colin like the day before he posted that the sign picture. I was like, I felt like tweeting and be like, hey, it's been quiet. Anything coming? Anything official hitting soon?
Anything fun?
They won't tell us. They're not going to say, "Yeah, we got something coming tomorrow."
Well,
yeah. Obviously, they're busy in
they're
post
editing
production
and stuff,
fine.
right?
Perfect this movie, but where's the marketing? Where's the posters? Where's the posters in?
It sounds like the marketing is going to gear up in November now. We'll get a website. We'll get a poster. We might get a synopsis.
Yeah, JurassicWorldMovie.com.
Oh,
is the
speaking of which,
that,
boys,
that doesn't make any sense to me. They also own JurassicWorld.com. JurassicWorld.com is the official website.
Yeah, and that also directs to Universal, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're going to keep it simple. I mean, that's the rule. That's the rule.
Yeah, but most movies always. Yeah, it'll probably be JurassicWorld.com actually, but most movies websites always they do have the movie title.
Yeah, Godzilla had that too.
Yeah.
Well, in Godzilla's case, there's 1,000 Godzilla things, already
this
out
is
there.
true.
I mean,
true.
it's easy. It's thelostworld.com, JurassicPark3.com, JurassicPark.com, JurassicWorld.com. Keep it simple.
I'm gutted those websites aren't really online anymore. The Lost World.
The Lost World. Yeah, I just found that out like 2 days ago.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on it.
LostWorld.com.
Oh
wait, no.
No, it's there. I was able to pull it up, and there's ways that you can get into Jurassic Park's website, but you just have to search.
No, you
can.
No,
you just have to
surely.
you have to search you have to Google different directories of the website, and then
it's lost-world.com.
But
and it's still up. The wait is over.
You're able to pull up some of the various.
Oh wait, but that redirects. Lostworld.com redirects after.
You can stop the redirect though. Yeah, I figured it out the other day. I don't know. I always plug around the website to see if they've uploaded anything interesting yet.
Oh god, it's so quick. I can't even get to the stop. This is crazy. Lostworld.com.
Hey, Asees, so you're going to say something? You're saying speaking of which?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys after the podcast because I'm not allowed to say anything yet.
Okay, we're close to. Yeah, I mean we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
This has been a fun podcast. There is a lot to talk about. I mean, when the marketing comes in, when we finally see something, the podcast is we're gonna have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. So much speculation. We'll have so many guests on, and we're gonna keep this podcast going as long as it really seems fit. They're doing a new trilogy, so we'll be doing.
Yeah, I mean, we want the website
podcast through then.
The website should be a community.
It's only gonna grow.
Community-based website. I mean, it's for a franchise and a fan base. At this point, it was established for the fourth film, but now it's a lot more.
Definitely. Yeah, it's coming. There's some good stuff coming. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and
we'll
farewell.
Catch you next time. Hopefully, we should have some more fun stuff to talk about. Or hey, maybe it'll be the Jurassic Park 3 one.
Oh wait,
maybe.
Wait. Before we go.
Okay.
Never mind. Just cut it.
Are we gonna?
Okay, wait.
Are we all gonna get drunk and argue horribly during the Jurassic Park 3
I really hope we don't end up arguing.
I don't real argue with people. Even if I sound like I'm real arguing, I'm laughing. I argue with this. When I argue about movies, I argue with a smile on my face, a legitimate, not a fake smile. So, for what it's worth, I should be having fun.
I don't think any of us will get.
No, we're not. Yeah. We love each other. We're not gonna, argue, but we're gonna disagree a lot during that podcast. But yeah, oh yeah. By the way, the podcast is on iTunes, and it has been ever since episode 1. So go on there, and if you've been listening through iTunes, rate the podcast and give us a little review or something. It's great. You get more listeners in, when you've got a review or a star rating. I think they do it by. Yeah, give it a rating, and obviously subscribe to us on YouTube. Most of our podcasts, well, all of our what am I talking about? All of our podcasts are posted on YouTube. They're also on Stitcher. You can get these podcasts anywhere, and you can download the direct MP3 from JellyCast.
And if you got friends that like Jurassic Park, tell them.
Yes, tell them.
Yeah, tell them about the podcast.
Give us a retweet on Twitter or anything like that. I mean,
everything helps.
Definitely. And stay tuned to our website and Twitter. We're one of us is always awake at one point in time, so we try and keep on top of everything. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and
catch you next time.
See you next episode.
Yeah, good up.